This is your weekly moment of growth. 2019 is finally upon us. And obviously this is the time of year that we decide that we're going to set goals, we're going to change our life with our actions, and we're going to live our best year. So what I wanted to share with you in this episode is what I do to set my goals and how I truly step forward into them every single year. Do I achieve all of them? No, of course not. But I do set them a specific way, and this is how I do it. I hope this helps you guys out. First thing is you want to be really specific with your goals. So you should place a particular time on it or place a particular dollar amount on it. So for me, although my goals aren't driven by money, I said to myself, I want to belong at the table. And what that meant was the people that I was interviewing, I want to become friends with them and I want to collaborate with them and do business with them. And so I chose specific people that I was interviewing and how do I build those relationships. So I was very specific on how I was going to do it, when I was going to do it, and who I was going to do it with. So number one is be super specific. Number two, make sure your goals are measurable. This is super key because sometimes we don't place a measurable goal on something and then we don't know how to get there, right? So with my goal, I want to sell out Growth Now Movement Live. The room has tickets for 150 people and I have timestamps on everything that I want to do. By the end of January, I want to sell X amount of tickets. By the end of February, I want to sell X amount of tickets. By the end of March, I want it to be sold out. So these are how we create measurable goals, and then we can break that down even further. So if I want to sell 20 tickets in January, that means I have to sell 5 tickets a week, or I have to sell, one every single day of the work week, etc. So we have to make them measurable because it makes it more attainable. We also have to make sure that our goals are realistic and timely. So what does that mean? If you're making $0 in your business right now, for you to make $1 million in the first 3 months of 2019 is not very realistic, and what that's going to do is going to squash your hope. So we want to make sure that the goals that we set are realistic. And then as far as timely, we want to make sure that we put a time frame on every single thing that we do. So what I do with my coaching clients who want to start a podcast, the first thing I do is I make them pick a launch date. And then we stay true to that launch date by doing the work that we need to do in order to get there at that specific time, right? It's easier, again, to break it down in steps. One massive thing that I do beyond these basic time stamping and all these other things that I just talked about is visualizing ourselves attaining these goals. And so I've shared before in the podcast that when I visualize, I actually use music and I set myself in that place, in that moment, over and over and over again. This is a daily practice of mine where I can literally visualize myself in the moments that I want to create for myself, holding the checks that I want to receive, selling out the event so I can impact as many lives as I possibly can, and how's that going to look, and who's speaking at the event. And you want to visualize so specifically. You want to be able to smell it because you're visualizing it so much, and that's why I use music to help really enhance the visualization practice. The next step is probably one of the most important, if not the most important, and that is letting go of self-doubt. If there's any doubt inside your mind that you can't attain your goals, you're not going to attain them. I truly believe that your thoughts create your reality, and so if there's even a subconscious doubt of I can't do that, you have to get rid of that or you have to adjust your goals down. And that's okay because we want to get you to the ultimate goal, which, by the end of your life is, living your purpose, doing the great things. But we do that in incremental growth steps. So you must relieve self-doubt or adjust your goals. And last but not least, the key to achieving all of your goals when setting your goals is surrounding yourself with the right people. Whether it's hiring a team, finding a mentor, listening to the right podcasts, attending the right events, making sure that your friends around you are supportive and loving and also are pushing you to your limits. When I started to become friends with people who push me beyond my limits, that's when I really started to achieve goals. So this is the last possible thing. When you're setting your goals, make sure you let your mentors and your best friends know what you're doing because they will hold you accountable. And make sure they're the right kind of people who will also cheer you on and make sure you're doing the work that you need to do to get that done. I want to thank you guys for not only spending the last couple of minutes with me, but spending 2018 with me. And I thank you guys so much for growing with me, as this is a journey for me as it is for you. I just happen to record it. And I want to thank you guys so much for the love and the passion that you put behind the Growth Now movement. And I can't wait to see what we do in 2019. I really hope to see you guys at Growth Now Movement Live so we can meet in person and really begin to grow together. I wish you guys a prosperous 2019, and I'll see you next week.